Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This is Planet FM 87.6, the only English channel of Radio Pakistan. Today we have an exclusive interview regarding the constitutional rehabilitation and as well as the coming elections at Uzbekistan. So we have with us Honorable His Excellency the Ambassador of Uzbekistan, Sir Arif Aybek Usmanov. So we welcome to the platform of Planet FM 87.6.
Alhamdulillah.
How do you feel today?
Thank you very much. First of all, thank you for inviting me to that very popular and very prominent FM Planet. And for me, it's a great honor and pleasure to be with you on the eve of the Eid al-Adha.
Thank you. Because we have enjoyed the celebrations of Eid al-Adha, and now there is a celebration obviously at Uzbekistan on 9th of July, because there is an election process will be positively processed rather. So His Excellency, I remember that at the end of the March, in the studios of Planet FM 87.6, the English channel of Radio Pakistan, you introduced the proposed amendments to the constitution of Uzbekistan,
yes,
and the upcoming national referendum in Uzbekistan. Kindly you please inform us about the result of the referendum.
Yeah. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Thank you very much, Imran Javed Saab, for inviting me to the Radio FM Planet to elaborate and to say more and to inform our dear Pakistani brothers and sisters of what kind of the renovation, rehabilitation or reformization and modernization going on in the life of neighboring country as Uzbekistan,
okay,
as the Republic of Uzbekistan. You are absolutely correct that when we met last time in March this year, we have been discussed about the coming referendum in Uzbekistan, and this referendum, alhamdulillah, has been done in the 3rd of April, okay, in Uzbekistan, in the very end of April. That was a very successful referendum with the turnout as the 90% of the voters.
Okay, very good.
And this is number like for 35 million of Uzbekistan. It means that more than 22 million of the Uzbek citizen has voted, and they have supported the amendment to the new constitution of the new Uzbekistan. Okay. So what is the importance of that referendum, that amendment? First of all, of course, after the independence of Uzbekistan, after 31 years of independence of Uzbekistan, it was a dire need for the strengthening the social statehood, social stateness, and the social protection of the population of Uzbekistan. So ensuring that there would be a social economic development. Okay. When we say social economic,
we can say that it's the renaissance of the constitutional hegemony.
Yes, it's a rule of law.
Okay.
It's a book of the life. It's a book of the every family, and the insan, as we say, insan, jamiyat, okay, and the governance.
Yeah.
So it's starting first of all from human being.
Okay.
Secondly, it's coming to the administration or the government, hukumat, and then it comes, of course, to that statehood.
Okay.
So in new constitution, we are making a very big changes comparatively to the previous one, where the statehood and society and the human has been put in that sequence.
Okay.
In the new constitution, with the initiative of the parliament and the president of Uzbekistan, we are, and of course that was also the need, and there was a demand from the population of Uzbekistan. We put in the first place human, in the second place the administration and the government, and then we put to the statehood.
His Excellency, that you have elaborated my first question in detail about the reformation of the constitution as well as the outcome of the referendum at Uzbekistan. So
Yes.
certainly it is a renaissance, I think personally, that you have visioned over there, and all the platforms, all the stakeholders have been on one thing, that is to revamp the society, to refurbish
Absolutely.
the strata of the Uzbekistan. So now I would like to ask from your kind self that what changes do you expect from the foreign policy of Uzbekistan after the adoption of the updated constitution?
Thank you very much for your very good question. That, of course, every country, and Uzbekistan and Pakistan are not the exclusion for that.
Okay.
The foreign policy always is oriented for the strengthening of the independence, the sovereignty of the state, enhancing the role and the place of every country in international arena with the foreign partners. Of course, it's envisaged the aim and the goal to be part of the democratic world, and of course every country's foreign policy, Uzbekistan as well as the Pakistan, is for the creating the security, stability, and of course good neighborness, about
good relations with the neighbors.
With the neighbors.
Yes.
First of all, with the neighbors. Of course, as soon as we say Uzbekistan, if your neighbor is in trouble, then you will be in trouble for sure.
Okay.
So the first aim that we are putting in the new foreign policy of New Uzbekistan was the creating the very conducive and peaceful environment with our direct neighbors,
the neighbors, as well.
neighbors.
Okay.
The 5 countries, Uzbekistan amongst the Central Asia, in the Central Asia is the very heart, in the very center and the middle of the Central Asia, and neighboring with such countries like Afghanistan, like Turkmenistan, Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, and Tajikistan.
Okay.
So it means that for the regional integration, for the social economic development, for the transport and transit and logistic, you might have a very good and friendly, and even as we say, as the Muslim countries, alhamdulillah, brotherly relations, first of all with your neighbors. So the first strategy, which has been now put as the new concept to the new constitution, is to ensure the conducive and friendly atmosphere with our Central Asian neighbors, including Afghanistan, as I said. So second tier of that foreign policy comes to develop and to strengthen the further social, economic, trade, political, cultural, humanitarian ties and cooperation with the other countries of the world. Of course, every country has their own traditional partners which are good in the trade volume, which are good on investment investment policy, who are good in the social economic. Some countries, of course, are having a very good, very important role in the transit and logistics of your country with the foreign, with the foreign markets as well, because you have always to shift your production. You may have opportunity to shift your production from local markets to the foreign markets, and of course, it's a new one that we have. A new dimension which we now created in the new Uzbekistan policy is to be a part of the WTO, World Trade Organization.
Yes,
and I'm very grateful. I'm taking this occasion to say the gratitude of the leadership and government of Uzbekistan for the government of Pakistan and for the Pakistani nation, which is definitely supporting the bid and initiative of Uzbekistan to be part of the World Trade Organization. Secondly, of course, it's important to mention that Pakistan, amongst our foreign countries, which is the most important partner from the South Asian country. Pakistan has also supported the initiative of my president for the connectivity, region-to-region connectivity, Central Asia and South Asia connectivity. And the Prime Minister of Pakistan and the ministerial delegations and your embassy and the diplomats, as well as the Ministry of Commerce, Ministry of Communication, Ministry of Railways, they are very actively working in the project office of the building of the new strategically game-changing project, which is the building of the construction of the railway from Uzbekistan border town Termez, the birthplace of Hakimat Termezi Rahmatullah, through Afghanistan to Pakistan, to Peshawar and to Torkham.
Torkham. His Excellency, that you have narrated all the foreign policy traits and the updation of the constitution of the Uzbekistan is concerned. So just let us know that Uzbekistan is now actively preparing for the upcoming presidential elections on July 9th, after 2 days. So what was the reason for the early election? Because the referendum was been there in March. And now the elections, what's the inevitability of these elections?
Thank you, Mr. Imran Javed Saab, for that good question. As you mentioned, that referendum on the 3rd of April has been held. That have made an amendment, and that was the serious changes in the power sharing, check and balances between president, parliament and government has been envisaged. So number one, of course, it's because of changes of that pillars of the powers. They have been reformed, they've been modernized. So for the putting the balance of that, we need to make it as much as earlier as we can. And secondly, since the new constitution has been amended and adopted by the people of Uzbekistan on the direct voting, as I said, 90% of the. So
and people have taken much interest in that. That's why the 90%, the polls have been there.
And the new leader should have, of course, the vote,
new mandate as well,
confidence and new mandate of the population of Uzbekistan. So even though that snap election we are doing 3 years before which we planned, but the president and parliament, they after the consultation with each other, they have then initiated that there should be a snap election. So now we are coming to that very important thing, that the world and global situation is also not normal. Unfortunately, in these days we are facing many conflicts, global conflicts, regional conflicts.
So
to find the way to, it was a very absolutely crucial for every leader to have a public mandate for the bringing and to the implementation of the foreign policy, which would be out of, as I told you before, which would be out of any military blocks, out of taking out any of sides, to be a neutral balancing. But rather than this, it's also important to play its role at the regional level and the global level on the peace bringing and the diplomacy bringing efforts to avoid of any continuation and degradation of the situation. And of course, it's since there were a new state of power, the new judiciary laws, that's why it was absolutely important to holding the early presidential election, so that would be first full implementation of constitution and also to get the public mandate for the new strategies.
Thank you very much once again. So, kindly let us know, because as a student and as spectators of Planet FM 87.6 and Radio Pakistan would like to know that please introduce to us about the candidates for the president of Uzbekistan and the main aspects of their pre-election platforms.
Thank you. We have already registered. The Central Election Commission of Uzbekistan has been registered 4 candidates, 4 nominees for that very highest post of the Republic of Uzbekistan.
Okay.
They are representing actually 5 political parties who are functioning in Uzbekistan.
Okay.
So the candidate from the Liberal Democratic Party, it's now current president, Mr. Shavkat Mirziyoyev. Then the second party is the People's Democratic Party, who has been nominated their own candidate as the Mr. Inayatov Ulug'bek, which is the chairman of that party. Then we have a Social Democratic Party, Adolat. Adolat, you do understand, of course, it's an Arabic word which is on the justice. They have nominated a lady, Mrs. Robahan Mahmudova.
Wow.
She is the leader of the Social Democratic
and she's the
Party.
Contestant, one of the contestants.
She is one of the contestants, which also envisaging the gender equality for that. And of course, we have a party of Ecological Party, a party which is focusing on ecological issue. They have nominated their own candidate, Mr. Abdushukur Hamzayev, who will be also running for the election. So the program of every and each candidate has been put to the for the Central Election Commission display and the website. And of course, I just shortly saying that first of all, it's for the social economic protection of the citizen. It's upbringing the economic reforms and
every party has its manifesto as well, obviously.
Yes, as the Constitution of Uzbekistan is focusing on the further expanding of the regional stability, regional peace, integration, economic, trade and transit, and education and humanitarian goals for the developing of Uzbekistan. None of the countries of the region and none of the countries in the world, they can now develop themselves separately from any country. So there is a dire need now for every country to run for the integration and to connectivity. So Uzbekistan and Pakistan are, without any exaggeration, they are now like locomotives, they are like drivers of the regional connectivity. South Asia to Central Asia, and Uzbekistan and Pakistan are 2 countries who are now implementing in practice that policy. I already mentioned the very important game changer project, which is the railway. Now we are coming for the trade and transit. I'm glad to inform you and through your Radio Planet FM, all the Pakistani listeners, that our trade are now expanding and increasing, and every year with a 40-50% increase. So just last year, 2022, we had recorded already $250 million US dollars trade gap between Uzbekistan and Pakistan, which is the 2x bigger, 1.5 times bigger than it was in 2021. In 2021, we've been having only 160 million. So 2022 was 250. Now we are coming to we already have a statistics of the first 5 months of this current year. It's from January up till the May. And during the in the month of that current year, our trade already recorded $150 million,
Okay.
which of course gives us the full confidence that in the end of that year we will have not less than 410 million trade between our two countries. Why and how we achieve this one?
Okay.
Our two governments has been signed the transit trade agreement, which was signed during the visit of Honorable Prime Minister of Pakistan to Uzbekistan in 2021 June,
Yeah.
and also with the official and state visit of my president last year in March 2022, when my president Shavkat Mirziyoyev was visiting your great capital,
Yes.
Islamabad.
Yes.
We signed preferential trade agreement.
Okay.
And as soon as that two trade agreements, transit trade and PTA, preferential trade agreements, came to force, entered to force,
Okay.
we've been able to achieve such a rapid growth of the trade gap between our two countries. Our countries has reached the level of the strategical partnership.
Okay.
And I also want to tell you that with this, our leaders and our governments and our people and nations are showing to themselves and to the world community that Uzbekistan and Pakistan are strategical partners who are going hand by hand, shoulder by shoulder to the regional integration, connectivity, and of course we hope inshallah that it would be progress and development for our two nations.
Thank you very much. It's a very futuristic vision of His Excellency and the government of Uzbekistan and the government of Pakistan as well. So it's a very detailed understanding between ourselves and the Uzbekistan starter, and I think that this interview will put light and shed light upon the various aspects of the two countries' interests, mutual cooperations, trade investments, transit routes, and lot many other things, because human infrastructure is the basic, I think, that the
Absolutely.
criterion you people have adopted after the referendum and after these elections obviously will be shown to the rest of the world. And it's very positive understanding of His Excellency that you have mentioned in this very particular understanding with Planet FM 7.6. So I thank you very much for your very kind arrival with us, and you have let us know about the coming elections after day after tomorrow. Certainly it would be very good to know and to understand the strategical connotations of Uzbekistan and Pakistan relations, and I hope so that futuristically the relations would be very much soothing,
Inshallah.
very much positive, very optimistic, and very sanguine. I thank you once again for your kind arrival, and I do hope so that your multifarious visits enlighten us and refurbish us and creating a rejoicement in with us. Thank you very much once again.
The honor is mine.
Excellency.
Thank you.
Thank you.